Well, I want to give a few tips on recovery from exercise from soreness and also what can actually jumpstart you on a workout day when you don't feel like going to the gym, which can actually help you out a lot too. I consider myself pretty much an expert on knocking my body back into shape when I want to. I know, I was involved in a lot of sports in high school, but then I got out of it in college, and then I remember in my early 20s I got back into it. I used to be running hills about 10 to 15 or 20 miles a day of hills in work boots, and I used to wear double socks and stuff. Now I know in the gym a lot of women are in there. Well, it depends. It depends. Sometimes they're in there just to look good and they just go in there for a half an hour, but some are very serious about getting their female attributes back into the best condition as possible, and that's part of the snare. That's part of the snare. Now, I want to also say that there's certain things you can do. Well, let me say this. First off, you're going to work out and you don't feel like you're very sluggish and tired. I'm not going to say that always is the best thing to do, but I've always found this to work for me, and I've also read other experts later on confirm this, is that if you drink some coffee before you work out, it's enough to give you a jump start. And then once you get into your workout, in other words, it'll wake you up and then you're fine. Something else I found out, if you work out very, very hard and you get a lot of lactic acid buildup in your body, what can happen is, to remove it, a lot of people sometimes they'll just sit around, oh, I just can't do nothing, I feel too sore. Keep your body moving at all times. And also take all the nutrients you need to repair yourself. Vitamin C is one of the most important and safe nutrients going. I know there's fructose in it, but it's not the high fructose corn syrup. It's not that bad to take whole fruits. Whole fruits are a lot better than fruit juice. The whole fruits are way better than just fruit juice, even if the fruit juice is 100% juice. Actually, that's what it has to be. If something is juice, it's labeled juice. It has to be 100% juice, or else they have to label it a drink. But fruit juice is not as good as the whole fruit. Vitamin C is one of the better things you could take to recover from. And also a little bit, kind of like if you put a little stevia in the water and you put a little lemon in it and some orange juice, where you're not getting like pure orange juice, you're not getting pure lemon juice or anything like that. You just put a little stevia in it with water. A lot of times that's, there's some calories in it, but it's enough. It's better than drinking plain water as far as flavor goes, and that can stave off a lot of hunger. Another thing I found out is this Hoodia gardenia, which I haven't been taking lately. You want it? It's the cactus from South Africa that the warriors chewed on when they went on a hunt, and they would people mistakenly take this Hoodia and they take the capsule and they swallow it. It doesn't do anything. Really, what you need to do is chew on a capsule and leave it in your mouth as long as possible. Now, for recovery, like I said, you want to keep moving. I found that when I used to work out, like in other words, when I did a lot of working out in high school, then I got out of it in college. In my early 20s, I got back into it, and I went like a maniac for a while, for several years. Then I got out of it for a couple years. Then I went in the Marine Corps, and I was in working out way more than the Marine Corps ever required. Used to work out twice a day usually, every day, never missed a day. And I was still working out a couple years after I got in the Marine Corps, and I got out of it. Then in my 50s, I got into extreme working out for about 5 years, and I got out of it. Now I'm trying to get back into it again in my mid-60s. So, but one thing they don't sell this stuff anymore. This is, what I use right now is I'll use the DMSO cream, and the best one I got that's a substitute is the one that has DMSO 70%, 30% aloe vera, and wait a minute, 30% arnica, and you can add aloe vera to it. This secret formula, I don't know what the these other ingredients I ain't sure about, polypropylene, whatever the hell it is, glycol stearate and stearic acid, and I don't know about that stuff. But the one thing that they added, they had DMSO, dimethyl sulfoxide, which has been known in sports circles as you got a sore shoulder, swelling. It's great. Even though they don't prescribe this, I think sometimes in maybe the chiropractor doctors might. It was actually the usage for arthritic conditions and also, you know, overstraining of muscles was actually found by I think it was Stanley Jacob in the the state of Oregon, heart transplant clinic in 1960. It was so good they actually, for a while, you can still buy this, but it's sold as a solvent. It's not sold as a, therapeutic agent or anything. But when you put this on your skin, you want to make sure it actually absorbs right into the muscle, and it really does do a lot for alleviating soreness. But you got to make sure your skin is clean because whatever's on your skin will absorb into the bloodstream. But this is why when you mix it with arnica flowers, rosemary leaves. I don't know about the soap bark chips. I don't know what they do, but the chenille flowers, comfrey leaves, and watercress and aloe vera, that actually gets into the muscle with this delivery agent, DMSO. I know you can buy on Amazon stuff called Penetrix, but this other stuff, this was a place that made this, that they're a small company and they don't sell it anymore. But I'm just saying that these were the ingredients. I don't know what the ratio was. Boy, this stuff worked like magic. It was amazing. I'm just showing it here for information purposes, but you can buy DMSO 70% that contains, yeah, I think it's arnica. 30. I'm not sure if it's arnica or aloe, but you can add arnica. They have arnica cream and arnica montana flowers. Man, they've been known for like anti-inflammatory relief. It's almost like a secret. It's, you'll never find it in the pharmaceutical stores or anything like that. But they work a lot towards pain relief, and they're like way safer. I mean, some of these people will take 7 Advils a day. Oh, you got to be kidding me. That's bad news. You want to, if you're going to take something to relieve some kind of inflammation or something from working out too much, the arnica montana is one of the safer things. I mean, nothing's perfectly safe, but it's a lot safer than any of the pharmaceuticals. Rosemary, you can buy that even, chopped up rosemary, like the leaves are like in sprinkles you can put on your food. But when it's delivered through the DMSO, man, it's amazing. I don't know if you can make this. I know you can make it. I know I made concoctions with arnica montana and aloe vera and DMSO, but somehow it never equaled this. This is the secret ingredients, and like, where are you going to get that today? I don't know. But another thing is too, even if you have a bad day for working out, it's always good to just go there anyway. And if you work out slower, you're keeping your blood flow moving, and actually that blood flow is what's removing the lactic acid. You want to keep. That is why when I used to feel so super sore, I said, man, I can't even run a mile anymore, for crying out loud. I was running like 8 to 10 miles of hills, and I got too damn sore from, when you're going up these hills, you're really big hills. You're really straining yourself a lot. I mean, after a while, it adds up. It just keeps adding up. You feel more and more sore. What I would do is I'd go out for like a 20-mile walk, and by the time I was done with that walk, I mean, maybe you'd want to go for a 2-mile walk versus a 20, but I was in really great shape then. I would go out for a 20-mile walk, and after I was done with that walk, it would take me, I don't know, about 6 hours or something like that, and the soreness was all gone the next day. And I never knew why that was. I just discovered that by accident, but it's because your blood flow you're continuing with your blood flow, and it's making your lactic acid get removed from your body, So even if you feel bad, you want to keep moving. You don't want to strain, you don't want to keep moving. Another thing to do is for detoxification this is a good combination of baking soda and apple cider vinegar. I put this out on other videos, but it's like a lot of times though people don't think of it in association with working out, because a lot of times you have toxins build up in your body, and when you work out, I mean, it does different things. It's like it raises electrical charge in your cells after a while, and it raises the frequency and the strength of your cells, but also it releases toxins. It actually releases it's like you're oxidizing food to convert into energy. So you need to take antioxidants. You also need to do detox too, and that all helps. Now, like I said, some of the creams work really good for really alleviating the stress of strained muscles or something, or inflammation. Like I know on Amazon, one brand that's already made that has some DMSO in it and has some good ingredients, is Penetrex. But that stuff I showed you before, I don't want to say the name. It was really a homemade concoction that some people made. Boy, I used to get that stuff. I got the, they don't sell it anymore. They don't sell it anymore. I used to get that stuff like crazy. You put that on, it works great. But I got something that works fairly close. I made my own concoction of DMSO and aloe vera and Arnica montana. But everything is like, I could say this. Everything is like an electrical charge. You want to keep that electrical charge going. I know Dr. Sabi talked about electrical food. I don't know where he got that idea from, maybe from other people, but, it's true. It's true. And, you want to actually, gear yourself for keeping up on a daily basis. If you overdo it, you're going to stop. You don't want to freaking overdo it all the time. That's another thing. But I know a lot of people are really, women are really, really, really worried about their weight more than men are, despite what they say. Here's another thing. When you work out really hard and you sweat a lot, you can actually destroy fat cells through sweating out that much. They can actually be permanently destroyed. And that was probably part of the secret why, and if I remember, like, when I really put, I had to get in shape for 6 months. I didn't really drop much weight during that period, but I dropped 87 pounds. Like, I dropped like 6 pounds in 6 months. And then the next 5 months after that, I laid the hammer down, and I dropped 87 pounds in 5 months. The first 2 months was 62 pounds. Now, obviously, even though I was working out 3 hours a day, high intensity cardio, 90%, obviously I couldn't have been burning that much energy because, I was losing like an average, I think, like 8.5 pounds a week or something. I think in the first week I'd lost like 10 or 11, and it was like 10. It was some crazy thing like that. And, in the first 2 months, 62. But, I found out much later on that I was sweating a lot. I was like, I don't know, the guy at the gym used to throw a towel under my elliptical machine because that's how bad it was, And I found out later on that the sweat, when you sweat that much, now you got to be careful if you can do this or not, but like my body's been used to it for so many decades, I guess, I got a muscle memory there, where I can still do this stuff, it can snap back after a while pretty quickly. But if you get a lot of sweat going, it's not like you're just losing water weight. You're actually destroying the fat cells. And I think that's what was happening. It wasn't just that, I was actually literally, I don't know, I think I was, just not just knocking down the fat. It was the toxins, the whole 9 yards. And, a lot of women are really, really, because I know in the gym, when I knocked out that much weight, I had so many freaking women asking me questions. What the hell did you do? What'd you do? What'd you do? What'd you do? And, I had a whole, I could have been a trainer or something after that because, not that I had time for that, but, because they saw, in other words, a lot of people talk the line and they saw the results. And actually, like it was off for 5 years. As long as I worked out 3 hours a day and I ate the vegetables mainly during the day and the fish, the weight was gone. It was gone. It was never coming back. And once I got off from doing I started doing 100 minutes or an hour and 40 minutes working out on elliptical and stuff, and then I started skipping days. Very slowly it came back, and then I stopped working out, and it was like, forget it, And it's weird, It's like once you get off that roll, you got to stay on it forever, at least in my case. A lot of people won't do that. A lot of people were criticizing me for doing that because they thought it was excessive. But, whatever. But I know, women want to do all this without the work. And actually, males want to do all this without the work. But I think the males are a little more, I don't know. I know the women are really, their whole thing is, what I look like. What I look like. I know that, but the female psyche is different. They got different things in their head that they consider more important. And yes, despite what they might say, they all want to look like a supermodel. That's an absolute fact. There's no doubt about it. I think every guy knows that, but no woman will really admit that, but they would want to look like a supermodel. So, But you can actually do this. One of the things I used to do too, besides the Hoodia, which helped give me just a little bit of staving off hunger, and if I got really too hungry, I would eat an apple, the whole apple, including the seeds, because it has the malic acid. Another thing I used to take was the acetyl L-carnitine alpha lipoic acid and the CoQ10, because the acetyl L-carnitine alpha lipoic acid combination works to raise the ATP in your body, and as that ATP is being raised, what's going on is you're using up CoQ10, the heart vitamin, so you got to supplement with that. And also you need to supplement with biotin, which is another thing that's a beauty pill, known as the beauty pill. It's for hair, skin, and nails health. But it also helps the body process carbohydrates better, more efficiently. And of course, I always put the coconut oil and loads of different seasonings on the, the vegetables, to make various vegetables, get like a combination of vegetables. Now, and all these things together could really lower the national healthcare costs too. That's been, you're looking at this is going back to, I don't know, the 1950s or something like that. You look at this picture, national health care, they had this way back. I don't think the government should get involved too much in healthcare. I think it's one of the problems, because if you look at this, even, I think it's a pharmaceutical death clock. I'll put a link to it on the bottom. You can look at it. I don't want to display it, but they had there's something like 50 million people just from the top reasons of medical screw-ups and things. Just the top 3 reasons. 50 million people have died since 2000. And it's like, I got to be careful what I say even about vitamins. Like, vitamins never kill nobody. And herbs. I mean, the simple herbs, not the radical herbs. Some of the herbs can be pretty bad, but they're, you don't see those around. I mean, I'm talking about safe stuff. So, but a lot of this stuff I talk about could really lower the cost, the national health insurance cost, but also raise the productivity of people. And, I don't know if this is feminine or something here, carrying a pink flag or something. I don't know what she's doing. But anyway, but most women really want to lose a lot of weight and they want to get down. And I know the thing with guys when they go to the gym, they're like, don't want to get big, whatever. I mean, I don't give a crap either way. I just want to get lean, strong, lean and strong, and have a lot of energy. And I notice the more I work out, the more energy I have. But like I said, the recovery process is kind of like, you got to have the nutrients, you got to have the detox regimen, and also sometimes, it's a combination of things. You want to keep moving, because to keeping that blood flow moving is what gets rid of the lactic acid, which is the soreness. And then also, if you got like an overstrain or something like that, you might want to put on, I use the DMSO with aloe vera and the Arnica montana before I work out. I usually use that before I work out, just to make sure, the soreness is out of there pretty good. And then I feel pretty good, and I'll drink some coffee before I work out. That's just enough to freaking give me a jump start. Now I'm figuring as long as I'm consistent, I'm going to show improvement. I sure as hell ain't laying down a hammer like I was right before. I'm a little afraid to do that because I'm in my mid-60s. I was a little afraid to do that when I was in my early 50s to late, I was doing that to my late 50s. But I don't know, I probably could without any danger, but, who knows. But, if you're doing all this stuff, and, when I talked about the colostrum on the other video, I want to mention this in here, the colostrum liposome delivery. I'm getting the one from Sovereign Labs. Man, I'm really sold on that. It's got human growth hormone 1 and 2. And by the way, if you do long cardio, I knew this from way back, years ago, that releases a lot of human growth hormone, ultra long distance cardio, naturally. But I've been taking the colostrum liposome delivery because it helps, it helps with digesting all the nutrients I take, all these supplements. Like, I take a gazillion supplements. And they're probably working a lot better now because I feel pretty good. And because I never worked, let's see, now it's been 8, 9. All right, so I worked out 9 days in a row so far, and it might just be, and I've been working out. Sometimes I've been on an elliptical machine about an hour. Then I do the weights after that, which is a little more than, that's more than I've been doing in a while. And we'll see. But like I said, if I start cranking up that elliptical machine to even 2 hours, even if it's not as intense as I used to do 10 years ago, or 8 years ago, maybe. I think I was doing it up to about. I was doing it up till my mid late 50s. I think I started when I was 52 or something around there. But you know, if I get it up to even 2 hours and I feel pretty good, well, if I crank it up to 3 hours and eat vegetables, I'm gonna be skinny in no time, a couple months. But I know women got pissed off at me. This guy does 3 freaking hours. Get it from, well, sorry, I'm not gonna freaking do less because you're mad at me. They get mad, especially when your waist gets smaller than theirs. They get mad. I mean, everybody gets mad at you. I swear to God, this is another thing. Ugh, that's why I started hanging around with the anorexic. Well, they call it, well, some are anorexic. Anorexic is not good, but the thin women that are into because everybody discourages them. Everybody, like, if you get thinner, everybody's like, you should have something to eat. They don't, they, underneath a lot, some people aren't like that, but a lot of people underneath are jealous, especially the women to other women. God, you know? What do you mean guys get pissed off at me? They were like, you wait when you're my age. And I'm like, yeah. Well, when you was my age, were you like me now? No. You know what I mean? They're always telling you something. They're always telling you something good. I used to do this, and I used to do way more than you did. Whatever. I'm just doing my own thing. But a lot of people noticed my results, and they were ridiculous. But honestly, I think what's going on recently, this colostrum LD is what somehow, I'm pretty sure of it. That's really been repairing all kinds of stuff. Man, women ought to be, I don't know, shouldn't be telling them because their weapons are their beauty. Oh, big time. It's the money extractor. The more beauty, the more money they get out of guys. But, I'm just talking about being healthy and stuff. But the thing is, it's like telling the enemy too much. But anyway, the thing is that you need to do this anyway. If you're just a normal human being and, not some narcissistic person or something, but, and I know some people are getting pissed off at me because, hey, you must be freaking so vain and worried about whatever. God. That's partly why I backed off. Because after a while, these people get to you. They get to you. They'll tell you you're vain. You're, I don't know. You shouldn't worry about that too much and whatever. And then you start backing off. I think that's really what it was. What kept me true to the cause, I was staying thin, lean, and muscular, was I was hanging around the thin women. And they all got that same problem where other people are telling them, eat something. They don't want, because they're jealous. And everybody knows this. But, it's like you're a select little group. You're talking the United States. The average weight here is like really bad, even when I was dropping weight and they thought I was perfect, then I said, no, I got all kinds of fat on me. You kidding me? Then they thought I was anorexic. I said, no, I ain't anorexic. What are you kidding me? And I wasn't, not in the least. But they're not used to looking at somebody as a normal weight. They're not, or they don't want you to do good. And the women definitely do this to each other more than anybody. Oh boy, they do. I don't know why, well, they're competing with each other. Beauties where, guys compete with each other on a different plane. It's like, I guess if you're a male model or something, you're competing over your looks. But, that's not how guys get ahead. It's the money, right? The money, how much they produce, products they can get out to people and stuff like that. Trying to even get the word out on products that are good for people, right? The women is like I know today is a little more the career, but somehow I think biologically things have not changed that much. they haven't changed at all, really. But, it's like there's so many women that, if they were heavy and they were going to wear this, they would say, no, 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 she's this, she's that. Well, you know, she's proud of what she looks like. She's carrying a pink flag, and I don't know, she's Ukrainian or something. I don't know. But you know what I mean. Have fun. Do whatever you want. That's the way I look at it. I mean, I'm not really conservative religious. I'm not like a socialist communist either, but, kind of like do whatever the hell you want. So, but in the long run, this could be a very, very good thing for the overall productivity of the nation. If everybody gets fit, everybody's going to have a sharper mind. They're going to be more productive. They're going to have more productive hours during the day. Like, in other words, because they'll probably need less sleep. They'll be, they'll just be more active. They'll be sharper, and they'll feel better. So it's a lot more than just looks. It's actually what you are, and it's what you can do, and how much you're going to enjoy things too. So, oh yeah, another thing I used to do when I go to the gym, I used to take my laptop, and I had to work sometimes on accounting stuff, but then I'd also read a lot about, the health stuff. And that's where part of my body of knowledge comes from, because when I was at the gym, I'd read, I'd spend an hour or so reading that, and I'd also do some of the accounting work with the laptop when I was in elliptical. So, actually, that saved some time, because you weren't specifically just working out, because then it eats up 3 whole hours of the day. So I was able to kind of multitask, and that helped too. That can help you a great deal. In other words, don't just watch a movie. Try to read something that can benefit you, or watch a video that can benefit you. There's a lot of actually good videos on YouTube that you can watch while you're working out that are beneficial. And also sometimes when you're working out, it's always good to read about, regimens and tricks to help you work out better and better recovery, because it'll keep you more focused on the task at hand. But like I said, the main thing you're going to have a problem with is people you do too good, people don't like it. There's probably more people that don't like it deep down when you do too good, too fast, than there are people that actually, like it. They don't like it. Like if this woman here, this very cute looking blonde woman, if she was like, I don't know, 250 pounds, and then a year later she looked like this and she's like really flawless, well, there'd be people saying, they want to know what she did, but deep down, a lot of people are really get jealous. They do. Oh, they do, man. And that's where they're going to try to discourage you. And that's why there's a clique of, we call them anorexic / thin women. They stick together to help encourage each other from not getting off track, because most people don't want you to do that well, because most people in our average society today, they're heavy. They're very heavy. Even, the people that don't consider themselves heavy, the average weight in America is like way the hell up there. It's ridiculous. And, part of that is from all the processed foods, the stuff they put in the foods, probably the pesticides that are toxic, things that were, it's not just the calories, it's other things that we're exposed to, which is a whole nother subject. But, you can stick with the workout a lot better. I found, taking a little coffee beforehand, also some of those DMSO creams, they're not really sold for that purpose. They're really sold as a solvent. Like I said, that one brand, Penetrex, on Amazon, you can buy it has 10% DMSO in it and a lot of other ingredients. I did mention these are the secret ingredients I saw of this other stuff. I don't know if they're ever going to make another product like this again. I couldn't find anything. I found DMSO with arnica. I found DMSO with aloe vera. And I was able to mix those two, and I had, but, these other things, I think that this stuff was magic. This stuff was amazing. But you can't get it anymore. You can't get it anymore. It was proprietary. I don't know if it was proprietary. It's like some little vendor was making it someplace, and it was great. It was great. But, you just got to make sure you also stay with the fruits and vegetables and all that type of stuff. And I also want to mention here, blood type. You might want to look up what works best with your blood type. I remember with my blood type, I was like mainly fruits and vegetables. That helped too. I didn't even realize that. It was like I pulled out every trick in the book, and it worked all of a sudden it worked like crazy. So, you know, you find the right formula for you, but there's some of the tricks I told you here, like just even when you're too sore, just keep moving. Don't strain yourself. Just keep moving. Keep that blood flowing, and the soreness will go away a lot faster, and you'll be able to work out, back to where you were before. That's another trick too. Okay, over and out.